as Anaheim. Better as Anaheim.
Hey, Skip!
Weaves, what's up? Oh, man, I always forget how tall you look on the mound.
You know what? It's so weird. Everyone always says that. I don't get it. It smells great, though.
Yeah. Hey, have you seen Mike anywhere? I didn't get his order.
Oh, Trouty? It's weird. I saw him like 5 minutes ago. He said he was going to come up and see you. That's weird.
He stepped away for a second. God, where'd he go?
Hey, you know. The sound of a sizzling grill, though. Nothing better.
It almost sounds like the meat's screaming.
It does. What do you got under the hood, huh?
Oh, you're in for a treat. I got hot dogs, got steaks, got burgers.
Skip, that's
not a burger. It's Mike Trout! Get some water! Why, Mike? Why? Hey guys, listen up. Mike's just been traded.
I don't know a lot about sports, but I can drink a lot of beer.
My motto is simple. See to get degrees.
Need a long, inappropriate hug? I'm your man.
I think I'm smarter than you.
Because I probably am.
Howard Collins, the box score. Hello and welcome to the Box Score. I'm Brock in Los Angeles, joined by the Danettes in Milford, Connecticut. Guys, it's finally here. The NFL season is kicked off, and kicks off on Thursday. Let me get that correct. And to get things going, you had Eli Manning on the show today, but already he has a fumble, not a football, but his grilling game. I mean, he says he does it with gas. Paulie, would you expect more from a Southern boy?
Yeah, a little bit. Now, there's nothing wrong with having a gas grill. I'd rather you have a gas grill and do it well than not grill at all. There's nothing wrong with
So wait, do you have a gas grill?
I have both. I have a gas grill and a smoker grill. Now, a gas grill is grilling and cooking out. It's not barbecuing. Barbecuing is more of a style where you smoke stuff, and seeing as a smoker, he knows what I'm talking about. But I think I'm going to give Eli a pass because he just bought a house. I'm sure he got one of those nice built-in grill setups.
In transition.
High-end.
Like it's out there. It was
Yes.
built in with nice stone and all that stuff, but he's never really gone out there to see, is it like charbroil or is it Coleman? I don't know.
But a couple of his boys will come
But
up.
you say smoker, so I have like the traditional Weber. It's like a
You have a charcoal grill. That's
Charcoal grill.
That's kind of in between the two.
Right.
Okay.
You use direct heat that comes up, and it kind of just sizzles the food. But it's not a convection oven where like a smoker holds the heat in and it cooks inside and outside simultaneously.
You have to have some form of liquid in there to keep everything moist. There's a whole process.
Yeah.
Now, when you guys are in your backyard, do you have this fear, like sometimes like a little spark will fly off the grill?
Cause a
No
big
big deal,
fire?
right? Except that there's like, my grill is like 8 feet away from the next apartment building, and like the fire is going out into people's apartments.
I would be nervous. When I lived in New York City on 76th Street, I had a gas grill, which is totally illegal.
Yes.
And we were on a roof deck. And I liked doing it. It was pretty original, and it was fun having people over. But I always thought, I'm like, can I go to bed now? Because it's just still hot up there. I would just go to bed.
Oh, I know. Oh, by the way, like I have kids, and that thing is smoking out there.
Oh, sure, yeah.
At midnight, I'm like, oh boy, not good.
Yeah, Eli's just being safe by having a gas grill. Well, some new suspicions and accusations arose around the Patriots today, and Dan asked Eli what he's seen while facing them.
Do you ever have any thoughts about that with any team, that somebody was listening in on what you guys were doing in the locker room?
No, I haven't had those thoughts about any team. We've only played the Patriots a few times though, and I think just with some of their track record and things that have gone on, it wouldn't surprise me that teams are cautious about being in their facility or just going to extra steps to make sure nothing shady's going on.
Possible.
Yeah, you would hope that he can just kind of concentrate on getting the job done and business at hand instead of having to worry about where there's hidden microphones or speakers or people, checking things out. Like Eli said, they didn't play them too many times over the years, and when they did, they got the last laugh, obviously, in a couple of Super Bowls.
Yeah.
The Peyton situation was a lot different with the number of matchups between.
So you're saying
Peyton and
though,
Brady.
so Eli being 2-0 in Super Bowls against him, he has no problem with the Patriots, but the teams like
That's
the
right.
Colts,
Exactly.
So that's basically why Eli's cool.
Right. Once you see the result, then you can decide if you're going to attack the Patriots. If things didn't go your way, then you can start looking for hidden things. But hopefully it doesn't get to the point where every team that plays the Patriots has to worry about everything except actually playing the game and who's hiding and stealing playbooks and the Spygate thing just out of the blue again today after all these years. Just when we thought we were moving on, getting ready for Steelers Patriots off of Deflategate, that this had to pop back up.
McLovin, ESPN released a story looking back at Deflategate. Is there anything new in this report?
Actually, I'm the wrong person to ask because I haven't had time to parse out what's been reported and what hasn't been reported. I saw a tweet from our friend Tom Curran who said it's 70% rehash, 30% new.
I think I read most of it today, and it seemed like a rehash of Spygate, and it set up the bridge between the two. It said that some of the things that are going on now with Deflategate and the punishments are holdovers from Spygate, where certain people in the NFL thought the Patriots got away actually easier than they should have. And so that's how they were bridging that gap with the ESPN story.
Okay, well, Seton, with all of this negative attention around the Patriots, do you expect them to make any changes within their organization?
Not to what? I mean, most of the people who were there when this all happened are probably gone and moved on to other things, right? Or maybe
gone
with the fishes.
Yeah, gone, like dead.
Well, how about change the way they operate?
Dan was implying that all of these people disappear. I'm like, you think they kill people?
They don't directly kill people. They
hire other people.
Some Patriots kill people. It's been proven in court.
It's true.
Accurate.
At least one.
Accurate.
Well, see, now just more of the way they operate, publicly.
No, I mean, I don't expect them to make any changes. I don't think Bill Belichick, I think most people probably within the Patriots organization think that this story going back to 2007 is all a bunch of crap anyway. So why would they change their ways? And I mean, they've been doing well since then, since they were caught cheating. So no, I don't see any reason why they would change.
They're doing okay.
What do you mean? They've made it to 2 more Super Bowls and one.
They won 1 Super Bowl.
They won 1 out of 3, which is
I know.
better than.
That's okay.
Well, they just don't have a built-in excuse of everyone saying, see, all these other teams cheated, so the Giants cheated, that's why we didn't win, like your Eagles do, even though they crap the bed on the regular basis.
Crap the bed.
They just are able to blame the Patriots because they cheated.
I was joking just to get you going. I know they're pretty darn good.
Simmer down here. I'll say it before. I said it before. I'll say it again. Patriots, just keep the drama up. It's plenty of content for us. All right, stick around. The prodigal boss returns. How do you return? Yeah, it's in a Ram 1500 Eco Diesel. You can climb a hill, haul a trailer. Plus, if you get out there to the ESPN campus, you can do Brody's out there in the lot. Woo! I stopped doing donuts in my parking lot. Screw you, I'm Dan Patrick. Guts, glory, Ram. Welcome back to the Box Score. Guys, a monumental day yesterday. The boss forfeited his Labor Day drinking to head up to ESPN, #JuiceCleanse. Now, he was going to SportsCenter and joined Scott Van Pelt. Paul, you made the trek with Dan. He said on the show today that there were no nerves, but what did you notice from him?
Definitely not nervous. Very low key. It was like no big deal. I mean, remember, the guy is on TV for a living. Being on TV is probably the easiest thing in the world for him. And he walked in, talked to some people, changed clothes, chatted some other people up, went upstairs. There was no ceremony. There was no rigmarole. It was like any other person coming in to do a live or a taped piece. And Scott walked us around, showed us a few things. He got hair and makeup on, then we went into another room. Scott got set up on the SportsCenter set, and Dan was kind of off for about 3 minutes by himself with us, a few other people, PR-type people. And Scott goes, all right, you ready? He goes, yeah. He walked over, sat down, and you don't even know when they're starting because Dan doesn't have an IFB in, and Scott does. Yeah. All of a sudden you hear Scott go, we're back on SportsCenter, and he starts interviewing Dan. And it probably went, I would say it went about 11 minutes, and they used about 6. So they left some on the table. I think they just edited it down.
Did Dan feel queasy at all?
Queasy? Like sick?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Why?
No, I don't know. That's what Todd asked in the morning meeting.
Oh, did you ask?
You're taking a shot at Todd.
What did you ask?
I didn't catch it. No, I guess something along the lines of nerves or just kind of a weird feeling. He was there 18 years, and
you know
after
what
all
I think
this
is
time,
interesting about Dan?
to go back there.
He sits down and he says things, and he appears to not know. Maybe he doesn't realize what he's saying in the moment. Mm-hmm. Maybe he does. But when he says things like, management didn't want another Berman. I mean, that's a hell of a statement to make on SportsCenter with management watching, and Berman probably knowing that this is going to get back to him. Now that management has to say, when he says, what do you mean you didn't want another Berman? You know, I mean, he's dropping these little mini bombs in there this
Yeah.
whole time, and you're like, damn, dude, and he doesn't care at all.
Yeah, it's funny you say that because I was standing there next to two PR people, high-end PR people, and he even said, "Don't want another bourbon." I went,
Ooh.
and I'm looking at the guy next to me, and he cleaned it up a little bit. He goes, "What I mean is they didn't want a bunch of
bigger,
stars."
yeah,
and he kind of
egos.
went back, and then he took a shot at Van Pelt. Like he said, he goes, "Remember when you were thinking about leaving?" He goes, "Well, you told me to leave," and they actually got real at the end, and everyone kind of tensed up again.
Oh my God!
Because Van Pelt at the last minute was great, and I wish they could have done another 5 minutes after the last minute. And but it was fun. Dan went outside. Same thing. He threw his shirt off, tie off. He jams at the back seat of his car, hit the gas, and there was no sentiment. The only thing he said to me was it felt like a time machine, like we never left. Because I was there 6 years. He was there way, way, way longer than me. But even coming over the hill, I'm like, man, this is all
I was going to say,
so
you guys are
familiar.
looking around and like, what is all this? It must be so different than
Very different and a lot more shiny and new. But they did a lot of tribute stuff to like the ex-Sports Center hosts like Dan and
I'm kind
others.
of curious to go back there.
Yeah.
A little bit, just to see how different it is. I would be blind.
Yeah, the areas we worked in were kind of on the other side, and they look like old, ancient college buildings.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I thought it was a great night.
Well, aside from the Berman comment, he had a little wink towards the camera where he had his visitor's badge on during the entire interview. McLovin, this is the box score, and we love to look into the subtext of things. What should we be reading from this?
I don't think it's hard to read into. This was just a visit. This is not a official return to ESPN. I think Dan, my sense is.
Well, he hasn't been asked to return either.
But
okay, was he trying a little too hard to appear as a visitor?
that crossed my mind. Yeah.
Okay,
Just,
maybe trying a little too hard.
Well, I mean, he probably saw the headlines. Dan Patrick returns to Sports Center, and if you take that headline and you're reading it home, you might think, oh, Dan is returning to Sports Center, so you just want to make it clear. How did that go over? Did anybody say, dude, get your pass off?
3 people. We actually had to go to a visitor thing, and they gave you a pass. The security there is out of hand serious. Like, you cannot physically get onto the campus without having a
what a waste
person
of
walk
time,
you
by
in.
the way, printing out that thing with like dates and times
Right.
and names and like what?
Yeah,
Really?
it took a little while, and then they walk you through a gated thing. There's no BS. And so when Dan's walking, we're looking at each other and we're looking at the pass, and he puts it right here. And we're both like, "You're keeping that?" He goes, "Oh yeah, I'm keeping it." And so 3 different people of different levels said, "You gonna take that off?" He goes, "No." And one low-level producer guy, like you could tell, he was just kind of the guy walking Dan on the set. He goes, "You gonna take that off, right?" And Dan goes, "No." I look at him. I go, "No, this is funny, man." I go, "Why would you?" And I think that in our head, that kind of summarized what the culture is. It's much more corporate up there, and they didn't see that. That's pretty funny, and Scott will get a kick out of that. Scott ripped it off and kept it as a souvenir, but we were all like, "Don't you get the joke here?" And nobody got the joke until Scott got it.
Well, Scott also got another souvenir as Dan brought him his 15-year anniversary pewter Mickey Mouse to adorn his set. Now, Seton, is this just Dan sort of forcing his hoarder ways on the clean-cut Scott Van Pelt?
I don't know. It actually made me a little nervous. When they say it's like a red flag when people start passing out and handing out things that were important to them, and that maybe they're going through something. So I don't like all of this Dan giving stuff away. Hey, here's my Emmy. You can have it. Go ahead, take it. Here's my pewter thing. No, go ahead, take it. Just take it. No, he's a hoarder by nature. This goes very much against who he is as a person.
Hoarder by nature. I love that group.
Hoarder by nature.
Yeah, they kicked ass.
Other people's property.
Yeah,
OPP.
OPP.
So.
Yeah.
I can't explain it.
Well, yesterday during SVP Sports Center, he was trying to get Braxton Miller on the line, and it turns out that they had a bad audio, so he had to come back later and grab that up. Fritzy, were you watching, hoping that Dan saw this all occur and that these things do happen?
Yeah, anytime another, whether it's a network program show, whatever it is, has a technical glitch, I know what they're going through, so I don't wish that on them, but I do get a little solace in that. It's unfortunately part of the business. Unfortunately, it seems to have been happening a lot, on my side. But and I know Dan's been around a long time. He knows that, but he likes to bust chops. But it is a little. Makes you feel a little better knowing that everyone else is going through that and things don't run smoothly all the time for everybody.
Seton, were you wanting to add something here?
I was just saying, it's funny that we had an audio issue to start this segment, and in the segment that we're discussing other people's audio issues. Now it just struck me as ironic. I turned my microphone off though and whispered so as to not call too much attention to it. Then again, I guess I could have just not said it at all.
One thing, I was watching last night live, and I felt bad for the whole crew
That
there
sucks,
because Scott can handle it,
live.
but everyone thinks, oh, Scott Van Pelt's show is not good because they had a technical issue. No, it's the first day of a new set. And I felt bad for the people behind the scenes. But you know what? If everybody embraces the mistakes, which I think his show will do more than any show up there.
It's so much more awkward when you try to like get past it or pretend it didn't happen.
Right.
It
You should
makes
never
it worse.
pretend audio issues don't happen. You should embrace them and really, embrace them, Fritzy.
I'm gonna work on that.
Thank you, Fritzy. All right, coming up, you missed some headlines. We're battling to get you paid. Did I screw that up? Mine? Welcome back to the Box Score, guys, with a 3-day weekend full of college football. Maybe you missed a headline or two. Anyway, we got you covered as we get down to business in this week's
Mock Headline Battle Royale.
I give you a headline, you give me a mock headline. First up, number 21st ranked Stanford starts off season with loss to unranked Northwestern. Let's start with the back row and McLovin.
Cardinal sin. If a tree falls to a below average Big Ten team, will anyone hear it? You know, Stanford's a tree, it's like a pine tree.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, a crowd that loves philosophy. Paulie, your headline.
Nerd on nerd crime. Northwestern spanks Stanford.
Fritzy.
21 done salute. I'm not sure they were prepared.
Shaw. David Shaw.
David Shaw.
David Shaw, okay. A round of applause for him. Seton, your headline.
Stonedford. Hard partying Cardinals play like they've been taking in too many trees, if you know what I'm saying.
Accusatory. That's accusatory.
Wow.
That's a good school.
Tough accent.
They like their weed.
They would have been better if they'd taken one Andrew Perloff.
Cypress
That's
Hill.
true. I
Second
didn't buy
headline.
that, but yes.
Matt Harvey disregards agent's season inning limit, announcing he will pitch in the playoffs. Paulie.
Harvey says, I'm just here to honor my innings limit.
Well done.
Well done. Well done.
Fritzy.
Don't bore us with the details. Just pitch, Matt.
Just pitch Matt.
Scott Boris.
The attitude in it is,
I'm trying to sell it,
is
man.
so great.
Yeah, you sold
Yeah,
that.
Boris,
So great.
Natasha. I like that.
California, yeah.
Seton, your headline.
Qual, come on, man. Matt looking more like Lee Harvey as lone gunman.
Oh, jeez.
I don't really know what that means, but I had to get Lee Harvey.
Not a lot of Lee Harvey humor these days.
He's a patsy.
Back and to the left to McLovin.
Don't be such a patsy.
Back into the left-hander.
Am I up?
Yes.
Sorry, Seton's Oswald.
You don't get a lot of assassination humor on this show. It's lacking.
Too soon?
Magic
too
bullet.
soon.
Harvey, the invisible pitcher. Will Mets ace start to disappear as season goes on? Harvey the rabbit. Anyone?
People are still on that one.
Yeah. Nobody cares. Move on.
And they turn. Our third
James
headline.
Stewart.
Ricky
America's
Fowler
Finest
wins
Actor.
the Deutsche Bank Championship. Fritzy, let's start with you.
Don't lose Ricky's number. He's dialed in.
Ricky, don't lose that number. That's current.
Ricky.
You got a lot of booze.
Steely Dan, that's very hip. Seton.
Not winning the belt.
Puma Huma. There's nothing funny about Fowler's win. I tried to get a Fritzy headline. Puma Huma.
McLovin, what do you got?
Crying Fowler. Henrik Stenson cries into his Swedish meatballs after losing by one stroke.
How many cultures can we offend?
Swedish meatballs.
We've gone from assassination to the Muppets. Paulie, your headline.
Not a Deutsche Bag. Bro Fowler wins again.
Yeah.
Deutsche Bag.
Yeah. Keeping it clean. Let's keep it in that region. Our last headline. Kansas State officials apologize for a seemingly phallic marching band formation. Seton, start us off.
Phallic P. Keaton. Conservative families cry. Upset with K-State boner ban.
Boner's good.
Fun
Phallic
fact,
P.
Michael J.
Keaton.
Fox wore
Family
a K-State
cries.
shirt in the beginning to take
He
care
was
of
the
business.
like that.
conservative of the family.
That's well done.
Fritzy, your headline.
K-State gets a bit cocky. Should they be banned? B-A-N-D.
Cocky.
The Jaycocks take offense to that. Paulie, your headline.
The Philharmonic Orchestra.
Wow.
Strong, quite strong. McLovin.
All right, turns out this is an inner office joke, but we had this joke where what if Edward Scissorhands had penis for hands? And one of the guys said, damn these penis hands. So mine is, damn these penis bands.
Damn these penis hands.
Damn these penis bands.
Oh, this is a real show.
This has been tough, but the judges are telling me that the mock headline championship belt shall be shared between Seton and McLovin.
Yeah.
We did it. All right, here you go. Take your hat, Pat.
Yeah.
Paulie, you're in there too. Get a hand in. Get a hand in there.
Fantastic. This is the box score, and we're taking a handful of these to take a break. And to remind you that the Ram Heavy Duty with its best-in-class towing, torque, and horsepower does not need a break. Put your hands at 10 and 2. Turn your head and cough. Guts, glory, Ram. Welcome back to the box score. Guys, there's a serious book that just dropped the other day. Paul Priore, it is titled Abused by the New York Yankees. He chronicled his time as a bat boy or a clubhouse boy. Yes, of course. That being said, or fumbled through, McLovin, if you could commission a book to tell a factual tell-all about any franchise in sports history, which squad would it be?
A factual tell-all.
I was going to say, I think there could be some money to be made in Dan Patrick's show tell-all. Bum, bum, bum. Unfortunately, I don't really know most of the stuff that happened, so it'd have to. I always get the sense something great happened before I got here.
Yeah, that's true. It was pretty great before.
I feel like I missed the party.
Mostly on air.
So if I had to pick a team,
it was pretty great back then.
I guess it'd be the 1950 Philadelphia Philly Whiz Kids, Richie Ashburn.
Ugh. That's a page turner. Hey, speaking of which, Paulie, has anyone contacted you about a tell-all on ESPN or maybe Dan?
No, when that who did the last ESPN book?
James Andrew Miller.
Jim Miller did the ESPN book. I was actually surprised that he didn't go the angle of talking to people like Seton, myself, Fritzy, mid-level producer types who know a lot more stories and give you a lot more on or off the record, mostly off the record or else your career's over. But they didn't. I don't know how many they talked to. They talked to really high-end people because I think that's more interesting and they want names in a book. But as far as like salacious stories, if you talk to the mid-level guys who've been there and been on the road and stuff like that, you would have stories like you wouldn't believe. Because I thought Jim Miller's book was not boring. I shouldn't say boring, but it didn't have half the stuff any one of us has seen.
There's a whole other volume.
Hundreds and hundreds of stories that I've heard or been witness to that were better than anything you'll hear in that book.
Encyclopedia Britannica version that just spans.
See, I don't see the Dan Patrick show as that juicy, though. I feel like,
well, not our
you would
show.
have the scrotum years. Dan takes on Todd Fritz.
When we started, we were on the road with Sean Salisbury, Rob Dibble, Dan. On the road a lot, and not so much.
Much different time.
Much different time, and other ESPN people were on the road, and it was lively and fun, and just things you saw that not even necessarily bad things, but some cool things that I saw that'd been great for the book.
Now, this book by Paul Priore, Abused by the New York Yankees, has some pretty racy stuff in it. Seton, would you have any interest in reading something like this?
No, not really. I mean, the Yankees have been abusing teams for years.
Oh, nice. Oh,
take that. No, I mean the whole thing is just so ridiculous. I read a little bit of the article about it on a website and just saw the things that they said happened here, and I'm not even gonna bother.
Dude, they're going after all your teams. You're going after the Pates, the Yankees. What's next? 1989 Seton Hall. Andrew Gaze wasn't even really from Australia.
Probably, right.
Yeah.
Exactly. John Morton, the boys, Anthony Avon.
They cheated,
Failed out, actually.
Is it starting to feel personal, all these attacks?
Just too
No. For some reason, I take the Patriots one way more seriously, but that's because it's current. Like, the Yankees and who they may or may not have been using bats and things with, I have no interest in.
Especially if you're a Red Sox fan.
But yeah.
Okay, well, now to a man who has never attacked. Our beloved Fritzy, who's on tomorrow?
Sunday Night Football play-by-play voice Al Michaels will be part of things tomorrow, and UFC interim featherweight champion
Interim?
Interim featherweight.
What does that mean?
That's what he's listed as.
Like, is the other guy's out of town, or he's got a sabbatical?
He's out of town. He'll be back in a week or two, and then he'll take his time.
So we couldn't get the main guy. We got the guy with the interim title.
featherweight champion. He's currently holding that title just for now.
I would just leave that out of it when you talk to him because he's kind of
When I
a
pick up the
killing
phone?
machine. Yeah.
Hey,
All
interim
right.
champ.
Thank you,
That's
gentlemen.
gotta be
We are back
interim.
tomorrow
So,
at 3 p.m.
interim.
Eastern right here on Audience Channel 239. The podcast is available on iTunes or podcast1.com. I'm going to get into some rum.
I don't know a lot about sports, but I can drink a lot of beer.
My motto is simple. C's get degrees.
Need a long, inappropriate hug? I'm your man.
I think I'm smarter than you because I probably am.
Hey, thanks for watching the box score. Holy cow!